Love can often feel like a mystery, beautiful, exciting, but at times confusing. You meet someone, share conversations, laughter, and moments that feel almost magical, yet a question still lingers in your heart. Does he truly like me, or is this just in my head? For many women, this uncertainty can become overwhelming. We start analyzing every text, replaying every interaction, and searching for meaning in his tone, his words, even in the silence he leaves behind. But the truth is, when a man really likes you, his actions will speak louder than anything else. A man who genuinely values you will not hide it, even if he never puts it directly into words. His care shows up in how he treats you, in the little details he remembers, and in the respect he gives to your presence. Unlike someone who is just passing time, a man with real intentions makes you feel safe instead of insecure, important instead of replaceable. And that's because love, at its core, is less about grand gestures and more about consistency. The quiet but powerful ways someone shows you that you matter. Too often, we've been told to look for surface-level signs. The flowers, the compliments, the smiles. And while those can feel wonderful, they don't always reveal the deeper truth. Real affection is found in how he listens when you speak, how he reacts to your boundaries, how he celebrates your wins, and even how he talks about you when you're not around. These are the kinds of signs that separate empty words from real love. Understanding whether a man truly likes you isn't about guessing or doubting. It's about paying attention to how he makes you feel. Do you feel respected when you're with him? Do you feel heard, valued, supported, and safe? Does his presence bring you peace rather than confusion? If the answer is yes, then chances are he's showing you more love than you realize. In this guide, we'll uncover 15 powerful signs a man shows when he really likes you. These aren't the cliché surface-level hints that leave you wondering. They are the real, deeply human signals that prove his heart is genuinely invested in you. From the way he listens without interrupting, to how he defends you when you're not in the room. These signs reveal what's often hidden beneath words. By the end, you'll be able to see clearly whether his actions align with his feelings. Because love shouldn't feel like a puzzle you can't solve. It should feel like a truth that unfolds naturally. And when a man really likes you, the signs won't just be visible, they'll be undeniable. He listens without interrupting. When a man listens without interrupting, it reveals far more than simple politeness. It reflects deep respect and genuine care. Listening attentively requires patience, discipline, and emotional maturity. In a world where so many people are waiting for their turn to speak, a man who chooses to hold back his words and truly absorb yours is silently showing how much he values you. When he listens, he's not rushing you, not brushing off your concerns, and not cutting in with his own stories. Instead, he's giving you the gift of presence, the unspoken message that your thoughts matter, your feelings matter, and your voice deserves space. This small act changes the way you feel in his company. You sense the safety of being heard without judgment. You feel the subtle encouragement in his silence that pushes you to open up even more. He isn't distracted by his phone or glancing at the TV. His eyes stay on you. His body language stays aligned with yours, and his silence becomes a bridge, not a wall. It's in those moments that you realize he's not just hearing your words. He's holding them, turning them over in his mind, and treating them with importance. When a man refrains from interrupting, it also shows self-control. It means he isn't trying to dominate the conversation or prove himself smarter or louder. Instead, he creates space for you, allowing your emotions and your perspective to breathe fully. This patience communicates respect on a deep level, because only someone who truly values you will resist the urge to make the conversation about himself. Over time, you recognize that his listening isn't passive. It's active love in its quietest form, the kind that makes you feel seen, valued, and cherished in ways words often fail to express. He values your opinions. When a man values your opinions, it shows through the subtle choices he makes every day. He doesn't just ask what you think as a formality. He truly wants to know your perspective before making decisions. Whether it's something small like what to eat for dinner or something bigger like career moves, family matters, or financial plans, he includes you because your thoughts carry weight for him. That is not just respect. It's recognition that your voice is meaningful in his life. You notice it in the way he pauses after you share an idea, actually considering it rather than brushing it aside. He may even adjust his own choices based on what you suggest, not out of obligation, but because he trusts your judgment. When disagreements arise, he doesn't dismiss you or talk over you. Instead, he listens carefully, asking questions to better understand why you feel the way you do. This willingness to hear you out shows that he's not just concerned about being right. He's concerned about building decisions together. The way he reacts also speaks volumes. Instead of mocking or belittling your input, he often acknowledges it with respect, sometimes even telling others, "She had the idea," or "She pointed this out." That kind of public recognition shows he isn't afraid to share credit and wants people to know how much he respects your mind. When a man consistently values your opinions, it gives you a deeper sense of partnership. You stop feeling like you're standing beside someone who just tolerates you and start feeling like you're walking with someone who sees you as an equal. It's one of the strongest signs that he doesn't just admire you for how you look or how you make him feel. He admires you for how you think, and that admiration creates the foundation for true respect and lasting love. He keeps his promises. When a man keeps his promises, it reveals his character in ways words alone never could. Promises are more than simple commitments. They are silent contracts of trust. Many people make them casually, but a man who takes his promises seriously shows you that he understands the weight of his words. When he says he will do something, you can exhale knowing he'll follow through, not because he has to, but because he respects you enough to honor what he said. You begin to notice it in the small things first. If he says he'll call at a certain time, he does. If he promises to help you with something, he shows up. These may look minor on the surface, but they create a pattern of reliability that makes you feel safe with him. In a world full of empty words, his consistency is rare and deeply comforting. It means you don't have to wonder if he's dependable. You already know. Keeping promises also shows integrity. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it costs him extra effort, he still chooses to keep his word. That tells you he values honesty over excuses and respect over convenience. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the quiet discipline of standing by what he said, no matter how small or large the promise. Over time, this builds a foundation of trust so strong that you can lean on it without fear. When a man keeps his promises, he shows that you matter enough for him to prioritize his actions around your trust. You feel cherished because he proves that your faith in him is not misplaced. And in that consistency, you realize something profound. Love is not only built in moments of passion, but in the steady reliability of someone who keeps their word every single time. He supports your goals. When a man supports your goals, it shows that he isn't just in love with who you are today. He's also invested in who you're becoming. True support means he doesn't shrink your dreams to fit his comfort, nor does he dismiss them as unrealistic or unimportant. Instead, he encourages you to chase after what sets your soul on fire, even if it means sacrifices, adjustments, or moments where your path might take center stage over his. That's real respect, because it shows he sees your ambitions as just as valuable as his own. You feel it in the little ways. He asks about your progress. He remembers deadlines that matter to you, and he celebrates small victories like they're big milestones. When setbacks come, he doesn't say, "I told you so." He reminds you of your strength, offering reassurance that you have what it takes to keep going. He may brainstorm ideas with you, share resources, or simply be the steady presence who believes in you when you doubt yourself. That belief can become the fuel you need to push forward. His support also shows in his actions, not just his words. Maybe he adjusts his own schedule so you can study, work, or train. Maybe he takes on extra responsibilities when you're focused on a project. These sacrifices, often unspoken, reveal that your growth matters deeply to him. He isn't threatened by your success, nor does he compete with it. He wants to see you win because your achievements feel like shared victories in his heart. When a man supports your goals, you realize he loves more than your presence. He loves your potential. And in that love, he gives you a freedom that's rare. The freedom to dream without limits, knowing you'll never be alone in the pursuit of what you were meant to do. 5. He doesn't belittle you. When a man doesn't belittle you, it shows through the quiet dignity he gives to your presence. In a healthy connection, he never uses sarcasm, cruel jokes, or cutting remarks to make himself feel bigger at your expense. Instead, he chooses words that build you up rather than break you down. Belittling often disguises itself as teasing or just kidding. But a man who truly respects you will never hide cruelty behind humor. He understands that every word spoken has weight, and he would never want to be the reason you doubt your worth. You notice this in public as much as in private. Around friends, family, or colleagues, he doesn't mock you to get a laugh. He doesn't expose your vulnerabilities for entertainment, nor does he reduce your ideas to something silly. Instead, he stands beside you with quiet pride, defending you if anyone else tries to undermine you. In moments of disagreement, he doesn't resort to insults or demeaning tones. He argues with respect, disagreeing with ideas while still protecting your dignity as a person. This choice not to belittle is also about how he views himself. A man secure in his own worth doesn't need to diminish the person he loves. He sees partnership as a place of equality, where both voices matter and neither has to stand on the other's shoulders to feel tall. That emotional maturity makes you feel safe, because you know he will never turn your weaknesses into weapons. When a man refuses to belittle you, he creates a space where love can grow without fear. You feel free to express yourself, to dream boldly, to make mistakes without being shamed. And in that freedom, you discover one of the deepest truths of respect. Real love doesn't demand that you shrink. It celebrates when you stand tall. He respects your boundaries. When a man respects your boundaries, it shows that he doesn't just care about what he wants. He cares about what makes you feel safe, comfortable, and in control of your own life. Boundaries can be physical, emotional, or even time-related, and a man who truly values you understands that honoring them is not optional, it's essential. He doesn't push, guilt-trip, or manipulate you into giving more than you're ready to give. Instead, he listens when you say no or not yet, and treats those words with the same respect as a yes. This respect shows in everyday actions. If you need space, he gives it without making you feel guilty. If you share that certain topics, jokes, or behaviors make you uncomfortable, he doesn't repeat them or dismiss your feelings as too sensitive. He honors your pace, whether in intimacy, decision-making, or sharing personal details. That self-control speaks volumes. It means he values your trust more than immediate gratification. A man who respects your boundaries also asks before crossing into new territory. He checks in, not because he's weak, but because he wants to. Make sure you feel safe. That simple habit of asking, "Is this okay with you?" or "Do you feel comfortable?" shows maturity and empathy. It proves that your comfort matters to him as much as his own desires. Over time, this respect becomes the backbone of trust. You realize you can open up more, share more, and love more freely because you're never afraid he'll take advantage of your vulnerability. Boundaries don't push love away, they protect it. And when a man respects yours, he's telling you that he doesn't just want your body or your time. He wants your heart, and he's willing to earn it with patience, kindness, and unwavering respect. He communicates honestly. When a man communicates honestly, it shows that he values truth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and respect over empty words. Honest communication is not just about saying what he feels when things are easy. It's about being transparent even when it's difficult. He doesn't play mind games, he doesn't leave you guessing, and he doesn't hide behind half-truths. Instead, he chooses to open his heart and speak in a way that makes you feel secure rather than suspicious. You notice it in the little things first. If he's running late, he tells you instead of making excuses. If something is bothering him, he doesn't go silent and force you to read his mind. He shares it calmly, trusting that you'll listen. When he compliments you, it feels genuine because it comes without agenda. And when he gives constructive feedback, it's wrapped in care, never cruelty. He shows you that honesty isn't about being harsh, it's about being real, and being real with kindness. His honesty also means he doesn't hide who he is. He shares his past, his fears, his dreams, and even his mistakes without trying to paint a perfect picture. That vulnerability builds intimacy because you realize he isn't putting up a mask to impress you. He would rather risk being fully known than live behind a lie. That kind of truth is rare, and it creates the kind of trust where you don't have to second-guess his words. When a man communicates honestly, disagreements don't turn into wars of silence or manipulation. Instead, they become conversations that lead to resolution. You may not always like what you hear, but you will always know where you stand. And that certainty is priceless, because love without honesty is fragile, but love with honesty becomes unshakable. He prioritizes your comfort. When a man prioritizes your comfort, it shows that he's not just focused on what he gains from being with you. He's deeply invested in how you feel in his presence. Comfort isn't about luxury or material things. It's about emotional ease, safety, and the sense that you can be fully yourself without fear of judgment. A man who truly values you pays attention to the small details that make your world softer. He notices when you're tired, when something makes you uneasy, or when you just need quiet, and he adjusts himself to give you that space. You see it in the way he makes sure you feel safe walking home, or how he checks in when you're stressed. If you're out together, he makes choices with your well-being in mind, like choosing a seat where you feel at ease, or stepping in when a situation looks uncomfortable. He doesn't pressure you into doing things you don't want to do, whether socially, emotionally, or physically. Instead, he reassures you that your peace matters more than any temporary thrill. But prioritizing your comfort also goes beyond protection. It's in the gentle acts, bringing you water when you're overwhelmed, making sure you're warm when it's cold, or even noticing when you need silence instead of conversation. These little gestures may seem simple, but they add up to a powerful truth. He wants you to feel safe, relaxed, and cared for in every part of your life. When a man consistently puts your comfort first, you realize his love isn't selfish. He doesn't just want to be around you. He wants to create an environment where you can flourish, and in that nurturing space you feel something rare. The quiet certainty that you don't have to perform, pretend, or protect yourself. You can simply be, and that is love in its purest form. He apologizes when wrong. When a man apologizes when he's wrong, it reveals a strength far greater than stubborn pride. It shows humility, accountability, and genuine love. Many people find it difficult to admit mistakes, fearing it makes them look weak. But a man who values you knows that saying, "I'm sorry," is not a weakness. It's a bridge back to trust. His apology is not just words tossed out to end an argument. It's a sincere recognition of the hurt he caused and a desire to make things right. You feel the difference instantly. Instead of deflecting blame, making excuses, or turning the tables on you, he owns up to his actions. He looks you in the eye, not to justify, but to acknowledge. His tone is soft, his words carry weight, and you can sense that he isn't just apologizing to silence the moment. He's apologizing because your feelings truly matter to him. That willingness to admit fault means he values your relationship more than his ego. Apologizing also shows maturity. It takes self-awareness to admit when he's been careless, thoughtless, or wrong, and courage to face the consequences of it. But in that moment, he shows you that his love isn't about always being right. It's about always being real. He doesn't leave wounds open. He takes responsibility and works to heal them, showing you through action that he's committed to growth. Over time, his ability to apologize creates an environment where mistakes don't destroy connection. They strengthen it, because you know that even when conflicts happen, he will never let pride build walls between you. Instead, he chooses humility as a doorway back to closeness. And in that simple yet powerful act of saying, "I was wrong, I'm sorry," you see one of the truest signs of respect. A love that values peace over pride and healing over winning. 10. He celebrates your achievements. When a man celebrates your achievements, it reveals that his love is rooted in admiration, not competition. Instead of feeling threatened by your success, he takes pride in it as if it were his own victory. He doesn't brush off your milestones or act as though they're insignificant. He acknowledges them, highlights them, and makes you feel that what you've worked for truly matters. Whether it's something big like a promotion, finishing a degree, or starting a new venture, or something smaller like completing a tough day or learning a new skill, he's there to cheer you on with genuine joy. You feel this in the way he talks about you to others. He tells his friends, family, or colleagues how proud he is of you, not to boast, but because he genuinely wants people to know how capable and brilliant you are. His voice carries pride when he says your name, and you can sense that he sees your victories as reflections of your strength and determination. When you achieve something, he celebrates not just the outcome, but also the effort it took you to get there. Celebrating your achievements also means he notices them. He pays attention to the details of your journey, the late nights, the sacrifices, the persistence, and when you succeed, his happiness feels amplified because he's witnessed the road you traveled. His excitement is authentic, not forced, and it reassures you that he's not standing in the shadows, but walking right beside you, clapping the loudest for your success. Over time, his consistent celebration of your wins teaches you something profound. You're with a man who wants to see you rise, not remain small. He isn't intimidated by your growth, he's inspired by it. And in those moments of shared joy, you realize that real love doesn't compete. It uplifts, supports, and honors everything you're capable of becoming. Quote, he trusts you fully. When a man trusts you fully, it shows in the way he opens himself without fear of judgment or betrayal. Trust is not something handed out lightly. It's earned. And when he gives it to you, it means he believes in your honesty, your loyalty, and your heart. He doesn't second-guess your words, doesn't stalk your every move, and doesn't interrogate you with suspicion. Instead, he chooses faith over doubt, because in his eyes, you've proven that his heart is safe with you. You notice it in how freely he shares his life. He lets you in on his insecurities, his past, his ambitions, and even the secrets he doesn't reveal to others. He doesn't try to hide behind a mask, because he knows you will see the real him and still stay. That level of vulnerability only comes when trust is complete. He trusts that you won't mock him when he's weak, that you won't betray him when he's vulnerable, and that you won't leave him when he's honest about his flaws. This trust also shows in the way he gives you freedom. He doesn't keep tabs on your every step or demand constant reassurance, because he knows your loyalty isn't fragile. If you go out with friends, if you're busy chasing your dreams, or even if you need space, he respects it without suspicion. That quiet confidence tells you he's secure in your connection and doesn't see the need to cage what he values. When a man trusts you fully, it transforms the relationship. You don't live under the weight of jealousy or fear. You live with the freedom of mutual respect. His trust becomes a mirror, showing you how deeply he values you. And in that trust, you feel one of the purest forms of love, the peace of knowing you are believed in, without conditions, without doubts, and without limits. 2. He protects your privacy. When a man protects your privacy, it shows a rare kind of respect, one that goes beyond love and steps into honor. He understands that your personal space, your secrets, and your private world are not his to expose. He doesn't snoop through your phone, your messages, or your belongings, because he knows trust cannot survive in the shadows of suspicion. Instead, he gives you the dignity of having parts of your life that are solely yours, and he protects them as if they were treasures. You notice it in the way he handles sensitive information. If you share something personal, your struggles, your fears, or a story from your past, he doesn't repeat it to others for gossip or casual conversation. He holds your words with care, guarding them as though they were sacred. Even in moments of conflict, he doesn't weaponize your vulnerabilities against you. That restraint shows he values your trust more than the temptation to win an argument. Protecting your privacy also means he respects boundaries in the relationship. He doesn't demand to know every detail of your day or pressure you to reveal things you're not ready to share. Instead, he creates a safe space where you want to open up, because you know whatever you say will remain safe with him. His protection is silent but powerful. It tells you that your voice, your stories, and your inner world are never in danger with him. Over time, This consistent respect builds a deeper intimacy. You begin to feel free around him, unafraid to share your truest self, because you know he will never expose you or make you regret your honesty. When a man protects your privacy, he's telling you that your trust is sacred, your boundaries are honored, and your dignity will always be safe in his hands. He treats you as an equal. When a man treats you as an equal, it shows that he doesn't see love as a hierarchy, but as a partnership. He doesn't place himself above you, nor does he expect you to shrink so he can shine. Instead, he respects your voice, your choices, and your independence just as much as his own. You're not a supporting character in his life. You're a co-writer in the story you're building together. That balance is rare, because many mistake love for control. But a man who truly values you knows equality is the soil where real love grows. You notice it in the small details. He doesn't make decisions for you, he makes them with you. He listens when you speak, not just out of politeness, but out of genuine respect for your perspective. When conflicts arise, he doesn't pull rank or use power to silence you. He debates, fairly, acknowledging your points even when he disagrees. Because to him, your opinions carry the same weight as his. Treating you as an equal also shows in how he celebrates your independence. He admires that you have your own dreams, your own passions, and your own identity outside of him. He doesn't feel threatened when you succeed, and he doesn't clip your wings to keep you close. Instead, he cheers you on, knowing that your growth is not a danger to the relationship, it's a gift to it. Over time, this equality creates a foundation of deep trust and respect. You don't feel small, silenced, or overshadowed. You feel seen, valued, and free to be your whole self without compromise. And in that freedom, love becomes stronger, because it's not built on control. It's built on respect, balance, and the quiet power of two souls standing side by side, as true equals. He never pressures you. When a man never pressures you, it shows that his love is rooted in patience and respect, rather than control. He doesn't rush you into decisions, commitments, or situations you're not ready for. Instead, he allows things to unfold naturally, trusting that love grows stronger when it's nurtured, not forced. His calm presence reminds you that you're free to move at your own pace, and that your comfort matters more to him than his own urgency. You notice this in both subtle and obvious ways. If you say, "Not tonight," or "I'm not ready," he accepts it without sulking, guilt-tripping, or turning it into a fight. He doesn't push you emotionally, physically, or socially to go beyond what feels right for you. Whether it's intimacy, family expectations, or personal goals, he respects your timeline instead of imposing his. That restraint comes from maturity. It shows he values your feelings more than instant gratification. This freedom he gives you creates an environment where you can actually lean into love with confidence. Because you're never cornered or forced, you begin to trust him even more, knowing his intentions are pure. He doesn't see your boundaries as obstacles. He sees them as part of who you are, and he honors them with patience. That patience becomes love's strongest proof, because only someone who truly cares will wait and support instead of push and demand. Over time, you realize that his refusal to pressure you is a form of protection. He shields your peace, your choices, and your dignity from being violated, even by him. And in that quiet respect, you see something powerful. Love that doesn't suffocate but gives you room to breathe, grow, and bloom. Because real love doesn't force. It waits, it supports, and it cherishes you exactly where you are. He defends you in your absence. When a man defends you in your absence, it reveals one of the truest signs of respect and loyalty. Anyone can treat you kindly when you're standing in front of them, but how they speak of you when you're not around exposes their real heart. A man who genuinely values you will never sit quietly while others belittle, disrespect, or make fun of you. He will not laugh along to cruel jokes or stay silent to keep the peace. He will stand up for you, even if it costs him comfort or approval. You sense this through the way people talk about him later. Friends or colleagues may tell you, "He always speaks highly of you," or "He shut down that comment immediately." That's because he makes it clear, without hesitation, that you are not someone to be mocked or diminished. Whether you're in a relationship or building trust, his defense of you when you're not present proves that his loyalty is not a performance. It's a principle.